Welcome to Good Morning Greyhounds. I'm your host, Grayson Holt, and today I am joined here with our new Director of Facilities here at the University of Indianapolis, Bruce Miller. Bruce, how is your... It's okay. Bruce, how was your morning?
As every morning when I come in, you never know what you're walking into with the facilities department. So.
Oh, I got you. We've heard a lot about it. So I want to start off with a question, just how did you become the Director of Facilities, and what is your past experience kind of leading up to this position?
I'm actually a mechanical engineer from Purdue from a long time ago. And I worked for a glass corporation based out of Toledo, Ohio for a number of years. Went to one of the facilities in Shelbyville, Indiana. So that's where I moved from Toledo back to Indianapolis area. Did some facilities work there, and then bounced to a small company over by the airport for about a year. They did high pressure spray aluminum die casting, and worked with them for about a year. A former contractor that I had worked with had noticed that the university was looking for a facilities director and thought I might be a decent fit for it.
Yeah.
So he contacted me and I contacted the university, went through the interview process, and was lucky enough to be selected to come to the university.
You obviously have the experience for it. I mean, you've been and bounced around everywhere, so you know what you're talking about. How has your experience been working in facilities at UND so far?
Well, this is my first go around with higher ed. Now, most of my previous experience has been with corporations, businesses, so it was a little bit of an adjustment. I was really blessed. The former director, Dave Statler, graciously stayed on for a little while and helped me transition into the role. But as there's been several transitional periods with other people coming and going for the university, it's been a little bit of a challenge, but I've liked the opportunity, and the university is a great place to work.
Yeah, for sure. And we understand that facilities is a tough job here at UND-TV. We get that you guys have done a lot for us. Can you kind of explain what your day-to-day is?
I wish I could. What actually happens a lot of times, there's opportunities that come up through the night. So whenever we do come in through the weekend or through in the morning, sometimes it's you don't know what you're walking into. We do have a standardized work program and a maintenance log system that people can write into. So we analyze that every morning, set priorities. But throughout the day, anything can happen. Just recently, we had a water main pipe break on us. Didn't expect it, but you have to,
Yeah, you have to take it.
You got to rebound and take off with that.
Yeah.
So every day is an opportunity. Every day is a challenge. We do prioritize everything in the beginning of the day and throughout the day.
Yeah, for sure. And then are you in charge of facilities management fleet? We kind of wanted to ask if you could go into detail, just the number of vehicles and stuff, and kind of where they're sent to, what they do, if it's all around campus, if it's surrounding campus, stuff like that.
We do have a small fleet of vehicles. It's mostly used for the maintenance group and the grounds department. There is a set vehicle also for mail deliveries, that goes through the custodial group. But it kind of fluctuates depending upon the need and how many people I have working at the time.
Yeah. So we're going to get into this later in the show, but obviously there's some renovations going around campus. Can you kind of go into detail about what you know what's going on right now, what you're personally involved with, and maybe a little sneak peek into what's coming next?
Sure. So a lot of the things that happen around campus as far as renovations, it's items that people walking on the campus don't normally see. Obviously, some of the things that you do see, the dining hall renovation. Very open, very, right there in front of everybody. But there's a lot of things that happen. For example, in Switzer, I just recently purchased 2 new boilers. So it's down in the basement of Switzer behind locked doors that these things go in. And it is a renovation to the university. But it's something that you don't normally see. We deal with air handling units, we deal with HVAC, boilers, all kinds of things that are kind of behind the scenes. We just recently completed a roof repair, or roof complete replacement on Central Hall. Right when I came, there was also a completion of Esch Hall. The roof was replaced at Esch. So there are a lot of things like that that you don't see as a student or a faculty member just walking through campus, that, the renovations that we have.
Yeah, things that have been done that people just aren't aware of. And to kind of keep this first segment on a lighter note before we go to break,
sure.
What is your favorite part about being the facilities director, since this is new to you?
I really enjoy the people I have working with me. I have an excellent group of people that work with me. And it is fun, the part of it coming in day to day where you don't know what you're coming into sometimes. So you get hit with a challenge, and you have to react with your group and your team. So I really enjoy working with my team and maintaining the university.
I gotcha. And we are going to take a quick break real quick. When we come back, we will take a look at what students have to say about our campus facilities. Stay tuned on Good Morning Greyhounds.
Are you feeling alone in your faith? Unity Catholic gives you an opportunity to get involved in a religious community on campus, providing sacramental needs and fellowship for prospective students and giving you a sense of belonging.
We just want you guys to know that God loves you, He delights in you, and He's in awe of you, and we would love to meet you. So you should come on out.
Unity Catholic, a community for you.
We'll leave it to our actual athletes. Watch UNDTV's live sports broadcast on GLVCSN and YouTube.
The first time I went to Lucas Oil was last year for the 6A Center Grove versus Carroll State High School football game. And I walk in this time thinking I know what's going on, thinking I know what's going to happen. And if I were to say that Lucas Oil lost any effect on you, just the pure vastness that it hits you when you walk in, I'd be wrong. And Jace put it perfectly. He walked in and said, wow, this is the dream. And it is, because the people that we look up to listen to a high school football game of the week on WYCR HD3 UND Radio.
There's often a moment when you're helping somebody with math where they just suddenly get over that little barrier and they get it. It's a nice aha moment, and I really like being involved in helping students achieve that moment, and we do get a lot of those here in the tutoring lab.
I'm here with Bruce Miller, Director of Facilities this morning. Bruce, we asked students what they thought about campus upkeep. Let's go ahead and take a look at that video real quick.
Sure.
Welcome to Man on the Street. I'm Liam Blaze, and I'm here with
Derek Jones,
Actually,
Larry Campbell.
Destiny, Kendall Pearson,
Sydney Smith.
All right, so what are your thoughts about campus facilities?
They could be better.
Yeah, I agree.
Can you elaborate on that?
Like I thought Swits needed a lot of updating, like the dining hall, but they did that, so that's good. But I feel like Esh and stuff, they need more like
do you need us to
food
turn it up a
options
little?
in there,
Yeah,
and
I
more like
can't
places
Can you turn it up?
students could just chill and study, because most of our classes are in there.
Yeah, adding on to that, I kind of agree with what she said, but we've also had a lot of power issues recently, so if they could fix that, that would be wonderful.
Well, it's my third year here, and I'm pretty fond of this new cafe. I like what they did here. Nice renovations, It's good to know where my money's going, you know what I'm saying?
I feel like it could do better. I mean, honestly, they've been doing great so far. I think the response to the recent power outage that we had was bad, just because like it took more than a day just to get things back and up and running again. A lot of people depend on Wi-Fi, especially me since I commute. So I feel like if it was communicated earlier that there was going to be a power outage or a gas leak, it would have saved me gas money from having to drive up to the school, which is like 35 minutes away.
Got you.
So yeah.
Okay, so you talked about Wi-Fi a little bit, but what's one thing you could change about a facility here?
I guess just cleaner spaces. I don't think they clean good enough, especially where students eat, where they sit around. Like definitely here in Switzer, there's times where I have to clean up, and it's not my job and I don't get paid. So that's what I would change.
I make sure the elevators are working as consistently, because that is my worst nightmare, going in the elevator and getting stuck, because it's happened multiple times. So I don't use them anymore.
I am too afraid of the elevators. I only took it once this year because I was lazy, and that was last week. It's November.
I just like how GV is like, built. I would say that I wish they had more like card key, things, so I can like, it's easy access into the building, because sometimes like you have to walk a longer way than you should. But other than that, it's pretty nice though.
And then what are your thoughts about what happened last week with the power outage?
Oh, I didn't care. I didn't have class.
It was not okay. We didn't really have internet, so it was kind of hard to do like school and like our classes. So, but hey, it was a free day off. So
a waste of time. I think you should just cancel classes throughout the whole day, like across the board, instead of it being an hour update each hour. And then taking the time out to fix the problem immediately.
Actually, that day I was really motivated, and it kind of sucked because I drove all the way here because I commute, and all of them got canceled. So that kind of sucked, but whatever.
Yeah, I agree. It kind of sucked because I'm also a commuter, and I drove here for class, and then we were just sitting here waiting, basically. And I kind of wish they had more transparency of what was going on.
I know, that's what I was going to say. What even happened?
Still don't know. It's a mystery.
You don't know?
Okay, so after that video, we're going to kind of dig into it, but some other student concerns that have been brought up are just mold sightings in classrooms that may or may not have been reported at the time, and then broken card readers outside of GV in different dormitories. So I just wanted to see, what are your thoughts about the video, and can you kind of explain to us, because I personally know, but our students won't, what is actually facilities' job when it comes to these certain things? Because we were talking about earlier about how elevators and things, that's not up to facilities. So what can you tell us about how your team is making an impact, and how things that aren't, sorry, I'm getting lost.
No, you're fine.
Things that you can't really control.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of things I can't control.
Yeah.
Right? I think I've heard the power outage issues. So, for example, with that, we have two main feeds coming into the university. And the recent power outage that we had, a lightning arrestor, which if it strikes one of the main poles, it diverts that power to other sources. So it's supposed to not take out our power coming into the university. And that's controlled by AES, our electric company. That was a failure on their part. But in the past, the university has experienced brownouts. And a lot of times there's automatic resets by the electric company for the incoming power. So that's kind of one of the reasons that we look at incoming power and brownouts, and we try to say, if the power goes out, keep calm, give us a few minutes, it may come back on automatically before you start reporting the issues.
Yeah, before students kind of get overwhelmed about it and everything, do their homework. And then I think we showed a clip, or we're gonna show a clip of some of the mold that students had reported and sent in that is in some of the buildings. Is there any way that students can personally report this, or would it have to be from a faculty member?
No, absolutely not. During our work day normally is Monday through Friday, 7 to 3:30. And at that time, students can call our main number at 788-3258. They also have the opportunity to actually issue a work order. So if you consider it, you can call online and go to facilities at und.edu. You can also go to maintenance at und.edu. Now the facilities at und.edu actually automatically creates a work order. So if you see something that is wrong, you can go to that. It will automatically generate a work order and get it into our system. There are after hours also, so we have people not here on campus all the time, but we also have people on call 24/7, nights, weekends, Christmas, you name it. We have people that are available.
Okay, good. I think that's good for our students to know, because I personally, I'm a senior now, but when I was a freshman, I didn't know if there was something that I could go to report an issue. And even I live in Greyhound Village now, and sometimes I don't even know if it's late at night and something breaks, if I could have somebody come and fix it. So thank you so much for that. Kind of wanted to jump in what we were talking about earlier.
Sure.
For how things are reopening and we're doing renovations. What is the expected timeline right now for Crow dormitory to reopen, if you do know that? Or what is the plan with that building? Is it still going to be dorms, or is it going to be something different?
To my knowledge, again, a lot of these decisions are based higher than myself, unfortunately. So the decisions are based somewhat upon student enrollment and the number of students we do have coming in. Crow is basically shuttered for this year, but there are plans, hopefully, as the student enrollment goes up, to open the building back up.
So are they just doing renovations because we don't have enough students to fill that dorm, so they're taking the opportunity, or is it being just closed and it's not going to be renovated?
That I can't answer. I don't have the background information for that. We recently updated Corey Brett's completely, and that was similar, I think, to what they were going to do with Crow. I think both the buildings were in the same state, roughly, with built-in furniture, etc. And I think that is definitely part of the multi-year plan to do the renovations. But as far as where it falls in that multi-year plan, I'm not aware.
Yeah. And then, so do you, which you may not know this as well, but was there a decision made to update the cafe and not the dorms? Because I know I lived in Warren Hall my freshman year, which still has not been updated. Some of them have still not been updated. But do you know if there are plans to do that, or if the cafe was just kind of the start?
So when I put budgets together for my facilities department, it goes on a multi-year project. I propose projects for the upcoming year that goes in front of multiple board members, accounting, etc., to balance the incoming monies that the university has versus the needs and wants that I have to propose. I also put together a 3-year plan looking forward for the next 3 years of what I think could be possible projects. So I guess I really can't propose or can't answer the question directly as far as what I expect is going to happen. It's a multiple step project. The board members are involved, the senior leadership team is involved. It's very complex.
Yeah, and then you mentioned your 3 to 5 year plan. Is there anything that you're planning to do that maybe we don't know about yet? Or do you have any plans for facilities going forward?
Well, the 3 and 5 year plan that I do is looking at the campus as a whole. So there's a lot of things such as, again, more roof replacements, boiler replacements, things like that that people don't see that I have in my plan.
Yeah. And then do you know if there will be any updates coming to Stadium Press Box or Media Center or the stadium as a whole? Last year we were supposed to go D1, and that meant that we were going to get all these renovations, and I'm sure facilities would be included in that. Is there, now that we are staying a D2 school, do you believe that anything is going to happen to the stadium?
Well, I think eventually it will. Do I have a time frame for it? No, unfortunately I don't. It's like the rest of the university. There are obsolescence that happens within the university, and that's dealt with on a periodical basis. So those numbers and those funds are put into budgets, and they're judged according to what we have as far as facility money or university money and the needs that the facility has or the university has. So some things obviously take higher priority than others. So it's a judgment call.
Yeah. And then, so is it still with that judgment call coming, just talking about what is getting renovated first? Or is it starting out with, what's easiest, what can we do now, to what's hardest?
Again, unfortunately, you're talking to the wrong person as far as the priorities on some of that. I propose different things, but those priorities are set by other people.
Yeah, I got you. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, a recent power outage at the University of Indianapolis has raised student concern. All that and more next up on Good Morning Greyhounds.
Are you feeling alone in your faith? UIndy Catholic gives you an opportunity to get involved in a religious community on campus, providing sacramental needs and fellowship for prospective students and giving you a sense of belonging.
We just want you guys to know that God loves you, He delights in you, and He's in awe of you. And we would love to meet you. So you should come on out.
UIndy Catholic, a community for you.
For children who may have high-functioning autism, may have ADHD, processing challenges, working memory issues, sensory integration issues, those types of challenges. It's a place where human beings are valued, children are respected. It's a progressive school that takes a hands-on approach to education.
We'll leave it to our actual athletes. Watch UNDTV's live sports broadcast on GLVCSN and YouTube.
The first time I went to Lucas Oil was last year for the 6A Center Grove versus Carroll State High School football game. And I walk in this time thinking I know what's going on, thinking I know what's going to happen. And if I were to say that Lucas Oil lost any effect on you, just the pure vastness that it hits you when you walk in, I'd be wrong. And Jace put it perfectly. He walked in and said, wow, this is the dream. And it is, because the people that we look up to listen to a high school football game of the week on WICR HD3 UND Radio.
We are back here with Bruce Miller, Director of Facilities at the university. Let's go ahead and jump in to last week. I know we talked a little bit about the power outage. Do you know why some of areas had power and others didn't? Because I know that you would walk places on campus. I live in Greyhound Village. We didn't lose power at all. We did lose Wi-Fi and stuff like that. So can you kind of, just with your background, explain to us why that happened?
Sure. I mentioned it briefly before, but for the university, we actually have two main power feeds coming into the university, and with HP also having its own feed. The main feeds come in on the east side of Nickerson and over by Greyhound Village is the second one. So we did that, or somebody did that when they were designing the university, so that if we lost power, we didn't lose power through the entire university.
Yeah.
So what had happened last week, again, it was a lightning arrestor on AES, their part of the equipment that failed, and we lost a phase of the incoming power. So that's why it was actually a little different for us this time. Usually if there's a power outage, it's dark.
Yeah.
What happened this time, because we lost a phase of the electricity, it actually, some lights kind of worked and didn't work, so that was kind of part of the issue.
Yeah, for sure. And then Student Swisher Center was shut down for the day. We kind of wanted to ask, there was rumors that it was a gas leak, and then there was an email sent out saying that it was a false alarm or something like that. They did not want to touch on it for obvious reasons, but what could have caused this? Do you know anything about it? And could the power outage have kind of sparked it?
Possibility exists. It's a difficult situation to actually find the root cause of everything. And we do take the safety of the staff, faculty, staff, and students. I mean, it's the utmost importance to us. So if somebody reports a gas leak, I mean, that raises the priority to the highest level. We wanted to check out everything. We evacuated the building. We thought we had found everything, but what we had found out was there was some small gas leaks within Switzer. And part of that's due to the age of the piping, et cetera.
Yeah.
So what we do is we contact the gas company. They came out and they pressurize the system. So as they pressurize the system, if there's leaks within the gas lines, their meters go down. We fix the situation and we call them back. So we had that and we got it corrected. I think it was about a day and a half later.
Yeah. And then obviously precautions are being taken because this was handled within a day and gotten taken care of, and nobody was injured during the gas leak. Is this something that we can reassure students that this is not going to happen again, or that there are precautions being taken to where this would not cause significant damage?
Significant damage, no. And again, the safety of our people is the utmost importance. So with the buildings in the university being as old as they are, some of them, things leak, right? And we do have our maintenance staff as they go around doing work. Part of their job is to investigate any type of leaks, any type of look, and they look around. So they do an investigation as they're doing their day-to-day work.
Yeah.
So.
And then can you kind of give us how do you know that a gas leak is happening? Is there like a smell or something? Is there something students can look out for if this were to end up in a different building, since a lot of the buildings on campus are old?
It mostly is smell, and the gas company puts a specific smell within the gas so that you can smell it, and it triggers something, right? It's that rotten egg smell that you see, right? So anybody that reports any type of leak or smell to us at all, again, we take it very seriously and we go immediately to find out what the problem is and correct the problem.
Yeah. And then, so since renovations are going to start happening, power outage just happened, gas leak, all of that. What is like the process of determination in saying that a building is safe? Because I know that maybe at the beginning of the year, at the end of the year, all the buildings are gone through, just to make sure that they're up to date, safe for students, safe for faculty. Can you kind of tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. It's kind of actually hit on two topics. One, yes, at the end of the year, after graduation, we do go through all the buildings, every room in the dorms. We go through them completely, cleaning, updating, everything. Now, as far as, I'm sorry, what was the other part of that question? The gas leaks and how do we know it's safe? We work with outside vendors. So the gas company actually is partnered with us and an electric company as well. So we involve them anytime there's any type of option that we need to have, and we work with them.
Yeah, I think it definitely does make students feel better, will make them feel better when they see this, knowing that someone is going through these buildings, someone is going through these buildings before they move into them or before they have classes in them, just to know that it is safe and that there's really nothing to worry about. And then what are kind of some upcoming goals for facilities? You're the new director, you already told us a little bit about your plans, but what's maybe something that you can tell us you're trying to get done before this year ends?
Well, being new to the university, again, when I come in, I'm filling somebody else's shoes. So I have to evaluate what they did, the direction that they were going, and I kind of work with people to get a new direction possibly. So I'm working with my staff currently to evaluate the direction we're going and how can we improve ourselves.
Yeah. No, I completely understand. And I wanted to thank you so much for joining us this morning. This has been a wonderful interview. Stay tuned for a new episode of Good Morning Greyhounds next week at 8:30 a.m. And stay tuned in tonight to UNDTV News on YouTube for mayoral election coverage at 6 p.m. where you'll see me. As always, have a good day.
Have a good day. See ya.
We'll leave it to our actual athletes. Watch UNDTV's live sports broadcast on GLVCSN and YouTube.
The first time I went to Lucas Oil was last year for the 6A Center Grove versus Carroll State High School football game. And I walk in this time thinking I know what's going on, thinking I know what's going to happen. And if I were to say that Lucas Oil lost any effect on you, just the pure vastness that it hits you when you walk in, I'd be wrong. And Jace put it perfectly. He walked in and said, wow, this is the dream. And it is, because the people that we look up to listen to a high school football game of the week on WYCR HD3 UND Radio.